they need. So you guys have a great experience both on the field, in the classroom, and to help us win. That's what we're here for. We want to win. We want to win conference championships. The specific sports that I oversee, baseball, men's water polo, women's water polo, women's soccer, field hockey, fencing, women's lacrosse, and the newly added sport of bowling. So it's a small school, so you'll really get to know, me no matter what sport you're on, but those are the sports where I'm the administrator. I work with the coaches, and like I said, hey, can't wait to meet everybody. Go Seahawks, and it's going to be a fun 4 years.
Katie, why don't you go next?
Sure, absolutely. Hi, everybody. Congratulations and welcome to Wagner. My name is Katie Russell. I am the Associate Athletic Director at Wagner in the athletics department. I'm fairly new. I'm about 2 months onto the job. I come from Columbia University. I worked in their athletics department for about a little over 3 years. But before that, I was a graduate assistant at Wagner. So Wagner is an incredibly special place to me. It's kind of where I got my start in the athletics industry. It's very, very special to me. I'm so excited that you guys are joining and coming to Wagner. It's going to be amazing. Kind of echoing what Brendan said, same thing. We're here for the student athlete experience. We're here to bring success to all of our teams. We're so happy to have you guys join us. The teams that I specifically oversee are triathlon, women's swimming and diving, men's and women's track and field, cross country, and then women's basketball. But you'll definitely be seeing all of us. It's a small school. We're here to support you, and you are going to have so much fun. I'm so very excited.
Coach Hamline, welcome to the panel. Yeah, I get you unmuted there. Coach, you want to introduce yourself?
Maybe he might be muted.
Yeah. Oh, jumped off, so we'll just wait 1 second. We're coaching there. Coach, you back? All right. Coach, you back on there? Coach?
Yep, I'm in, Jimmy.
You're in, all right. Why don't you, your camera's a little bit down, though. We got to see a little better.
I'm sorry?
Your camera's looking a little bit down, though. We have to see a little better. Can you point up? There you go. Now we got a good view of you, Coach.
How we doing, okay?
We are doing great.
Great.
Why don't you introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Walt Hamline, the Director of Athletics. Been at Wagner for close to 38 years and having a great time and still loving it.
Coach, we all went around and introduced a little bit. Why don't you talk about who, what are the next steps, what's going on in college admissions right now, or not admissions, but college athletics, what they should expect, and where are we at?
Sure. We're in a time frame, I guess is a good way to put it, and going one step at a time and being proactive, looking into the future, obviously, to get everybody to campus in the fall and be able to participate athletically and be involved in academics and all the things that go with it. There's a lot of conversation going on from the NCAA from a directional standpoint and looking at different avenues and how to do things the right way as far as protecting students and making sure that things are in place. Again, we're in the Northeast Conference, which is a conference that mandates things along with the NCAA and puts in a lot of different, looking at a number of different scenarios when it comes to when the seasons will start and so forth. I know that everyone's excited and looking at it from a proactive standpoint that, hey, as the clock moves here, we're going to take care of what we need to take care of and be ready to hopefully participate in the fall.
That's great. I'm just going to tell the attendees too, there is a chat down at the bottom. So if you have any questions for Coach Hamline, for Katie, for Brendan, any kind of questions there, just chat me those questions and then we can get them answered for you. One of the questions here for anyone is what's next? So these students who are signed, they signed an LOI, what should they do next?
Katie, why don't you jump on that?
Yes, absolutely. So congratulations on being admitted. Like I mentioned earlier, we're so excited to have you here. In terms of, what's next, I believe in you get an admissions package in that letter that should have your name on it, what your Wagner ID is going to be. And then from there, you'll just go ahead and get started on the new student form. It's available online. I also last week sent a link out to all of the coaches in the athletics department with that link for kind of the next 10 steps. So all your coaches have it. So if they did not receive it, or if you didn't receive it, or they didn't send it out, you can always reach out to the coach and they have it. Or you can email me and I can send it to you. But that lists out kind of the next 10 steps of what to do. Filling out the new student form is probably the biggest thing I would say for right now, just to get all of your stuff in order before you come here in the fall.
Right. From a training standpoint, what should they be doing? That was the other question. Now, what people can do at home and that kind of stuff is all depending on what restrictions they have. But anything from a training standpoint right now, or any suggestions on what they should do?
Sure.
Go ahead, Brendan.
Yeah, sure. Jim, great question. I think in this time, athletes, non-athletes, we all got to stay healthy, take care of our minds and our bodies as best we can. What I would advise is, communicate with your coach. Your coach, especially now as we get through the end of the semester, the coaches are turning the page and they're so excited about their classes and they're going to be in constant communication with you. They're going to send you workout packets for the summer from our strength and conditioning coaches. My best advice is try and be in the best shape you can when you come here in the fall for two reasons. One, obviously to prevent injuries, so you're ready to go. And two, because I know just in hearing from the coaches talk about the talent that we've recruited, there's going to be some starting spots up for grabs. And I know you're going to want to come in and, push those upperclassmen. And hey, now's your chance to catch them. They weren't here in the spring. They're in the same boat as you. But to answer your question, Jim, I think, hey, anything you can do to stay healthy is important. But your coaches will be sending out summer workout packets, and I think it's important to follow them, do the best you can, and like I said, be ready to go when you get here in the fall, because we'll definitely be ready.
Yeah, I'm right with Brendan on that one. I think just like anything, as a student athlete and you've been participating in high school, you have a good foundation, hopefully, and you can work off that, and you're going to get workout packets. Your coaches are going to communicate with you. And that's the key. If for some reason you're not feeling that you're getting it done the right way, hey, communicate with people, be safe. But I don't know that there's a lot of secrets. And I think as a student athlete, it's pretty simple. You need to work extremely hard, set goals for yourself, and then get after them, and then communicate with your coaches and student athletes that you're associated with. And, I always say, hey, find a way to win. And you know your body better than anybody. So work your tail off and get ready to go.
Katie, this question's for you. Is there anything from a NCAA eligibility center that is new right now, or have timelines changed at all with getting transcripts or official transcripts, or is there anything new, not new and exciting, but new on the in aspects of eligibility from a graduation standpoint and that kind of stuff? Anything the students should know?
Sure. I mean, I would just double check with your schools to see if your schools are allowing students to go pass fail. I know some high schools are giving that option, but some aren't. So I know that we're working on that. In terms of eligibility, like there's specific questions, they can reach out to us, because I just want to double check that with our head of compliance as well. But I know that the NCAA is being a little bit more lenient with test scores since a lot of the SATs were canceled. So I know that there's been a little bit of changes there. And then also, I think in terms of transcripts, we're still definitely going to need them from your high schools at the end of the year once you complete the semester. But I do know that like some schools are doing pass fail, some high schools, some aren't. I think it totally depends on what your high school is. So I would just maybe find out that information from your schools. And if they are doing the pass fail option for this semester, I would definitely let myself and our head of compliance, Jen Savasano, let her know as well. Or you can email it to me and I can send it to her and have you on the email. But I think the pass fail in terms of like eligibility with the high school is probably the one I've seen a few times. But anything like more, anybody can reach out to me at any time and we can get that answer for you. That's helpful.
That's very helpful.
Yeah, I think there too, Katie, you covered it great. Just the checks and balances, I have a checklist which cover with coaches, cover with Katie, or cover with Jen, who oversees compliance. But those are things that you just want to be proactive on and make sure you're getting them all done.
Absolutely. And I just want to add in one more thing. Sorry. I would also just double check in the NCAA portal, the eligibility center, just make sure, I believe they have all different tasks in there. So just make sure that you're crossing off all of those. But again, any questions at all, specific to each person, you can reach out to me anytime. I can also connect you with our head of compliance, Jen. She's great. Really, really smart with compliance stuff. So we can definitely get any questions you have answered. I would just make sure that you double check on the transcripts and then make sure you're checking in the NCAA portal, your eligibility portal, to make sure you're checking off all the boxes with the NCAA as well.
It seems like a lot for a first time student athlete. And I think, again, just to simplify it, just communicate with people and then your checks and balances and make sure you get all the things that are needed to be done.
That's great. And that's like everything too. We need from a mission standpoint, we need your final transcripts. So once you do complete and get your graduation date taken care of and everything's confirmed, we want to make sure we get those official transcripts to admissions as well. The next question coming in. So you guys are excited about every single sport at Wagner College, but tell me about maybe one or two that each one of you are really excited about next year.
Sure. I'll go first. I'll give you, like I said, I'm excited about all of them. I think the future's bright. The one I'll talk about, the two I'll talk about, field hockey. So we started field hockey. Last year was our first season. The kids did great. I think when you start a program, it takes a special type of student athlete to come in and join and be part of that building foundation. We were very competitive last year. And now Coach Nikki Miller, who's awesome, she's brought in another huge recruiting class. So now we have the depth. So now I'm excited to see, now that we've got a full roster, we're in year 2, we're still young, but now we've got the people on the roster to really compete in the Northeast Conference. So I'm excited about them. And then, I think I'm excited about women's soccer. I think our coach has done a great job. He's coming into his 4th year. This will be his 4th recruiting class coming in. That team took a huge step forward last fall in the Northeast Conference, and I think they're ready to take the next step. So, those are 2 sports for the fall. I'll stick with the fall because that's up next that I'm really excited about.
That's great.
Yeah, I guess from my standpoint, just like Brendan said, hey, excited about everybody coming. And I think that the thing I really get pumped up about, anytime it's a new season and you're starting, it's like you're starting all over again. And then the freshmen coming in. We know what the veterans sort of look like and what they've done. And yeah, they got bigger, they got stronger. But when you're a freshman coming in, hey, and you're going to compete and to see you develop, coming in all pumped up, ready to go, and then, to see the different levels you're at, and you'll have to adjust a little bit because it's something new. But at the same time, hey, it's exciting at the beginning of preseasons. Katie, pump it up. Let's go.
Sure. Yeah. Like I mentioned before, I'm only 2 months into the trip here, so I'm actually really excited for all the sports, like genuinely, because I was a GA a few years back, and during that time, I worked really closely with swimming and diving. I worked closely with softball. So now coming back into this role, I'm excited to see kind of how those programs have grown since I've been gone. So I am excited about that. Women's soccer, as Brendan mentioned, has a new coach since when I was here, so I'm excited to see how they've grown. I'm a big football fan, so I'm very excited with the new coach with football. So excited to see how that's going to roll around. I also personally am really excited for my sports because I've really been working with all of the coaches to understand their program, understand, their vision. So I'm really excited for a triathlon because that's a semi-new sport with us as well. Track and field did really great this year, and we're bringing in a lot of new great kids that we're excited about. So I'm super excited for that. Women's basketball, as I mentioned, swimming. So I'm a very indecisive person, so I'm excited for all of them, and I'm excited to be back and have my first fall at Wagner. So I'm so pumped up for all the sports. I don't know if you can tell or not, but I know.
And
I knew I could get her going.
Motivation, you come to me, I got it.
And I think we'd be remiss, it won't be till the spring, but our two teams that are defending champions, water polo has won the conference championship 6 years in a row. They'll go for number 7 in the spring. The women's lacrosse has won it 2 years in a row. They'll go for number 3. And then this year, Katie stepped in and track and field and cross country won a couple championships. So we're just excited about all the sports. It's going to be a heck of a year.
Absolutely.
The one thing too is the new sport of bowling. That is, I'm so excited about that, just to see how that goes, and from a sport that we haven't had before. So very excited to see that here next year.
Yeah, and we've added sports over the year. Brendan mentioned a few of them. Triathlon a couple years ago, and now we've added bowling, and it's really exciting. I think we'll probably have over 500 student athletes, which is great. We're a small place, and everybody gets to know everybody, and it's good stuff, and interacting with each team, different teams, and so forth. So it's good. It's exciting to see how those teams progress. And then some of our top teams, as Brendan had mentioned, water polo. Women's water polo has been nothing but fantastic. So all good stuff, and we're so proud of how well our academics, our student athletes have done academically, and our academic support staff.
So what should students do? We already talked about, training, okay? Do as best as you can from a training standpoint. We know what to do from an eligibility standpoint right now and finish up through the admissions process. Make sure we deposit, we do our new student form, we're getting all those kind of ducks in a row. What should they expect? And we know this is a moving target a little bit right now, but what should they expect when they get there in fall? From a study hall standpoint, again, things may look a little bit differently than they did previously, but what are some of the things they should expect as being a student athlete here?
Sure. I'll start, and then I'll let Katie talk about the study hall. I think the first thing, what's great about being a student athlete is, when you go to campus for the first time in the fall, right? Everyone's kind of something new. It's not high school anymore. You're trying to make friends. Well, hey, you've got a group of best friends the second you step foot on campus, and that's going to be your teammates. And my advice is, really soak up the upperclassmen, the leadership, the guidance, what they can talk to you about to make sure you get off to the right start academically. You understand your team culture, your team rules. So I think when you come on campus, expect it to be different, and in a good way. You're going to have a lot of responsibilities. It's one thing just to have class and everything. Well, you guys have weight training, you have study hall hours, you got practice, you got film. So I think just knowing that it's going to be so exciting, but, really take the leadership from the upperclassmen, soak it up, take their guidance.
I agree with Brendan there. I think that's smart to use the upperclassmen. They have the experience, they've been there. One thing I would definitely suggest, we kind of touched base on this earlier, but just make sure you're working out over the summertime. I was a student athlete in college, so I would definitely recommend, staying in shape, getting ready, especially those fall sports preseason with the fitness testing and stuff. It's just good to come into the fall being in shape, ready to go, fight for your spot and earn that spot, So I think I would push for, I would suggest that, and just staying in shape. In terms of like academics and stuff, I oversee academics for the athletics department. So we have a great team. So that, you know, we work with you. We set up study hall hours. We have laptops available for students that need them, where you could come in, send one out. You go. We have 2 rooms, the athletics in the Spiro Center, that the student athletes can go into and help and do work there. But we work with you on assignments. You get assigned an academic advisor when you get to the college, and so they'll help you with classes and figuring out what major and checklist. But then you also have your athletics kind of academics team, and that helps you with your classes during the semester. So we can help you with assignments, and then we can set up study hall hours. Depending on your GPA, that's also a thing too. So you'll learn more about the academic stuff as we get in and get settled and everything. But if you have any questions on academics, you can always reach out to myself. We're going to be hiring a new academics head person that I'll oversee. So that person will also be new come the fall. But yeah, so you have all the support. We're here to help you. So any questions you have, again, please reach out to me and we can get those answered for you.
I think they covered it really well. I would tell you probably one of the biggest things in moving forward there would be your time management, how you program your time, and having a good understanding as the clock ticks and you realize that now you're going to school, you're meeting with coaches, you're in academic study hall. So a time management program is real important. And that's something that I know our staffs will cover with you.
That's great. There was a question from Sam just asking about locker rooms. So he was thinking about new construction of locker rooms, but any comments about locker rooms?
Sure. I guess, we're in the process of adding an extension on our stadium. It's something that we have, and it's somewhat in place, and now everything's been put on hold like everything. So that's a little bit of a time deal. It's going to happen, but we're in a little bit of a time hold because of the circumstances right now.
Perfect, Coach. Thank you. Any of our attendees have any other questions? You guys have been coming up with some really good ones. So please keep them coming while we have the panelists here. Anything the panelists want to add right now? We have a second waiting for some new questions.
I just think, it's a cliche thing. They say college is the best 4 years of your life, but I can tell you it's true. And I think, some of you might be nervous, maybe going away, coming on a team, but I think you're really about to embark on the best 4 years of your life. And I think what Wagner does, what you guys have probably learned throughout the recruiting process is, being a small school, we're going to do a couple things for you. One, you're going to be a Division I athlete, which is going to be great for your experience. It's going to look great in your resume. The college is going to set you up to be successful once you're done. I think with our teams, I love when we win championships and games where we win, but I also love graduation day. When I see the student athletes tell me where they're going next, so you're going to be close with your team. You're going to be close with all the other teams, which as an administrator, I love. I go to a soccer game and the baseball team's there. You go to the football game, the swim and dive team's there. So that's what Wagner's about. I think you made a great choice for those of you who committed. You're going to have a great experience on the field. You're going to get a great education, and you're going to be very successful, 4 years when you graduate.
Okay, that is great, Brendan. Thank you. Another question that just popped in. Hold on 1 second. Let me. Hold on. When we pick classes, okay. The question is, when will we pick classes and that we're going to take? So I can answer a little bit of that, Katie, and then maybe you can jump in or anyone after that too. So the new student form, this is really the key thing for you guys to do. So looking at those next steps for you guys is, one, make your deposit. That way we can have you marked down as a incoming student. The second part of that is doing that new student form. So in that new student form, you're going to do 3 things. One, you're going to give us some information that maybe we don't have, your interests, things that you might be looking at. You're also going to pick your learning communities for the fall. All right. And that is key, because your learning communities over the summer are our people in CASE, Center for Academic and Career Engagement, they will enroll you in those courses. Okay, they'll work with the athletic department to make sure that it doesn't conflict with class schedules and practice schedules and all those kind of things. But we will then put you in courses. You will be you'll know what courses you're in come July 15th, right around that date. Things might get pushed back or pulled up a little bit, depending on now we're sort of, looking at some different things. But right around July 15th is when you'll get your course schedule for the fall. So really the key thing to make sure you do is fill out that new student form. That's going to give us the idea of what learning communities you would like. We will try to put you in those learning communities based off of your class schedule and off your athletics schedule. You'll also sign up for housing. There is a housing form attached to that and also a public safety form. Those things are crucial for you to make that next step. Okay. Question. So that was Kayla's question. Is there anything else, Katie, that I missed on that, do you think, or?
No, I think you did a great job. I was going to say it's not open just yet. We're still finishing up registration for all the current students enrolled in the college. So I think you hit it perfectly on that. Yep.
Perfect.
Jimmy,
Yeah, go on, Coach.
Yeah, the only thing I'd say too is just practice times, flexibility within practice times and scheduling. And I know their advisors are privy of that and our staff. So when they're selecting classes, we make sure that they have an understanding when the practices are.
Mm-hmm.
I've been, myself and Jen have been working about the LCs, the learning communities. We've sent them over what the fall schedules for the sports are going to be. So when you're filling out your forms and stuff, they'll know that you're, an athlete. Hey, I'm on the soccer team or I'm on the football team. And then, they'll be able to, pick your learning communities, et cetera, like that. So a little bit of back end story that we've been working behind the scenes with them to make sure that they know what the schedules are for at least the LCs, the learning communities, to make sure that there's not too many conflictions there with practice.
Next question, and probably goes to you, Coach Hamlon, is are the fall athletes still coming into camp in August during preseason?
Yeah, we're still on a timeline. It's just like everything right now. We're projecting that's when they would come in. At the same time, we're looking if it was later also. So, there comes a clearance again with this timeline, from the government, from the NCAA, from the Northeast Conference and our presidents. But, we put forth that's when we plan on coming in. And we're ready for that as we move forward. Again, things can change here and there. Hopefully, we're excited about getting everybody in August and getting ready to go.
Perfect. I think Jessica may have a question. She does. Okay. This might go to any of you. So what happens if you cannot get your physical forms in by June 1st? Doctors aren't doing them right now, which I think we're going to be pushing that date back even from the admission side. So I wouldn't worry about that just yet. We will work with the timing on that, because we know from admissions and definitely probably athletics as well, you can't go to the doctors. They're not allowing for physicals right now and those kind of things. So there will be some leeway. We're probably pushing back that timeline from a June 1st to a different date.
Yeah, Jim, absolutely. And Jessica, welcome. Jessica's going to be on our bowling team in the fall. She's going to kick off the program for us. So excited to meet you on campus, Jessica. But yeah, what Jim said is right. We're obviously going to be flexible, and our athletic trainers will be communicating with our coaches who will work with you. Basically you won't be able to compete in practice until you have your physical. But if you're past the June 1st deadline, there won't be a penalty for that. But as this progresses and everything evolves, more information will be sent out to everybody regarding that.
Yeah, and I've talked to a few of the athletic trainers just because I wanted to make sure that my sports were on top of it too, and they understand that obviously getting a physical might not be the biggest priority right now with healthcare and stuff. So he was just they were just suggesting that if there's any paperwork or initial paperwork that you could get done to maybe get started on that. But in terms of actually going to the doctors and doing the physical, if you can't get that done before June 1st, obviously we're going to be flexible. But if there's any paperwork that you can start at least process on, that would be helpful as well.
Great. So going along with the physical question, and I don't think, Madeline, I don't think we have an answer for this one yet, but the question was, will online physicals be allowed? This is probably something that we would ask to our physicians and also with our training staff, but also with our healthcare professionals inside campus, with depending on what goes on with how people can go out and get physicals physically or online virtual, which a lot of healthcare is doing right now. We will have to get the official notification before we can give you probably a proper answer on that. But we will definitely look into it from both a campus standpoint and I believe probably the athletic standpoint as well.
Yeah, you're right, Jimmy.
Good questions coming in about what to expect. Right. Well, I think we're getting to, what time is it now? We're getting to about there. So if there's any more questions, please keep them coming. If not, what I'm going to do is maybe we'll wrap it up going around a little bit and any final remarks. We want to start, maybe Katie, you want to start, and we'll go to Brendan and then to Coach Hamlin.
Sure, final remarks?
Yeah.
No problem. Yes, it was so.
Wait, one more question just popped up. So let's hit this question, then we'll go to final remarks. Which again, I think is a moving target here, so anyone can answer this. But when will we get an athletic game schedule for the fall? So again, I think that could be, it is a moving target, but somebody want to answer that question?
Yeah, sure. And it's also going to depend on the different sports. I think coaches are finalizing things now. I know field hockey, we're putting that schedule up online this week, so that'll go up. Soccer is complete, so I know Phil can share that with you. So we're almost done with them, and I think coaches will be sharing those relatively soon. And if you have any specific questions on them, same thing, feel free to reach out to your coach. But just about complete with all fall schedules, and looks like a good slate.
Perfect. All right, Katie, sorry to interrupt you, but why don't we go back to you?
Oh, no, that's okay. So I just want to say thank you, everybody, for joining the panel today. Thank you for having me. I'm really, really excited, as I mentioned plenty of times, for you guys to join us in the fall. It's going to be amazing. I think Wagner is a great choice. It's a small school. It's a Division I school. Being an athlete in college is incredible. You're going to have friends right off the bat as in your teammates. So it's a great feel as soon as you walk on that you have those teammates surrounding you. I think that also with the small school is really, really great because you really get to know everybody. You're definitely going to see my face all the time. You're going to see Coach Hamline's face all the time, Brendan's face. We're here to help you. We're always here to support you. Any questions you have, Spiro is an open door, the Spiro Sports Center. So, coming to us, coming to your coaches, me heading up academics, we're always here to support you. So I think it's a really, really good choice to come to Wagner. And I think you guys are going to be so excited when you get here. So welcome aboard. We cannot wait to meet you and get things started up in the fall here. It's going to be awesome.
Perfect. Brendan?
Yeah, Katie, that was great. Thanks everyone for taking the time to come on and talk with us today. And, Katie hit the nail on the head. If you have any questions or anything, you can find our contact information on the website. Don't hesitate to reach out. We're here for you guys. If you ask me a question and I don't know the answer, I'll get it for you. But we're here to help. That's one of the positives of being a student athlete. But basically, hey, just really, really excited. So many good things going on in our department. Teams getting started, teams improving, and hey, we're here for you guys. Your coaches are excited. It's going to be a great 4 years. When you get here in the fall, definitely stop by. Our offices are on the second floor of the Sports Center. Stop by, say hi, introduce yourselves. We'll all look forward to meeting you.
That's great, Coach.
Great. Well, I'll keep it real simple, okay? I'll be a coach right now. One, make sure you graduate and do the work you need to do. Take care of yourself, stay healthy, and as you move forward, dot all your I's, cross all your T's, and get ready. We can't wait to see you. We're pumped up and looking forward to this coming year.
That is awesome. All right. Well, I want to thank everyone for attending, for coming in and asking questions. You can reach out to any one of us, so go online, even under athletics, under the staff, right? There's staff contacts, that kind of stuff. Email any staff member, find out, talk to the coaches. If you have any questions about anything, we are here for you. Welcome to the Seahawk Nation.
Go Seahawks.
Go Seahawks. Thanks, everyone.